Uh, let's see. If we can just go for like 5 minutes and it doesn't crash,
It doesn't
then
crash
maybe.
on us. That would be the benefit of the gods, right?
Yeah. So
I'm reading this Arbiter class. There's so much text, dude. My eyes started to hurt.
what's it on? Is it on
It's on GM Binder. Here, I'll send it to
by?
you. It's just so much to read, and it's like there's so much going on in here. It's beautifully done. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a really well written class. They're just trying to read and comprehend and digest it all in like small bits is so much, dude. There's so much here.
This is the Paladin monk multi-class, basically, or fusion.
No, that was the Argent Fist. This is the Arbiter. This is another class that I was looking over. This is like a full-blown class with subclasses.
Oh, I see. So what's kind of the aesthetic here that they're going for with this class?
They're basically living weapons. Is effectively what they are. These are living weapons that have been blessed by primal powers, and they're sort of just these manifestations. They're sort of these. They're called arbiters because they are arbiters of what is just of what is defined as good and evil. Effectively, they bring judgment down upon those who they deem are worthy of their judgment.
Now, aesthetically, that I really like that.
Right.
Just because of like my favorite anime is Violet Evergarden, and I think,
it's fair. But like when you start going down to the nitty gritty and you like read, like for example, read their Ruined Crest ability, which is effectively Hunter's Mark, but it's a class feature, and it does so much for them.
Rune Crest do not abide to the weave. Anti-magic field, dispel magic, and other effects like that have no effect on Rune Crest. That's pretty good right off the bat.
Which is kind of cool that they mentioned the weave, because this means that they're set roughly in the Eberron setting, which is where the weave stems from. But the weave can also mean a variety of things too, because I know there are some other like anime settings that are based that refer to mana as the weave of the world.
Yeah. Doesn't Faerun use the weave?
I believe, yeah, Faerun does use the weave as well.
I'm pretty sure in 5e the weave is just sort of like the standard magic thing at this point.
Well, yeah.
For
so
like
I refer to the weave. See, I use the weave, but not as like just the standard magic thing. I refer to it as like it's basically the force in my worlds is what I refer to as the weave, because it's literally the strings of life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or the strings of creation, and so you're plucking on the strings and like creating these knots in order to create spells. But like, for example, a monk with its chi, you're basically, when you like, if you're a Way of the Four Elements monk, you do the exact same thing with the weave, except instead of like using it to create spells, you're creating the spell like effects, which is like, you know, like the burning hands ability for the monk equivalent of that. Like I think it's like hands, or like fire whip, which is like the flame serpent whips or something like that. It's kind of a weird aesthetic, but that's sort of what I do. I like the term weave. I think it's a very good catch-all. Yeah. It's better than sitting there and trying to calculate like, oh well, I use these various formulae and like intricate designs, and I'm like, bro, you literally just mathed a string and you pulled.
This class aesthetically was so cool, because I can immediately think of like a character that is like, it starts off as this arbiter, this unthinking weapon, and their whole character arc over the entire game is that they're learning to feel and stuff. And
yeah, but like
it kind of just is the plot of Violet Evergarden.
It really is the plot of Violet. But here's the thing, though. Then you go to Arbiter's Ascensions, which are their subclasses, and they kind of just become terrifying. The first one, Blood Void, is literally Shaltir from Overlord if she didn't have a conscience.
Whenever you kill a creature that is branded with your rune crest, you regain a number of hit points equal to 1d4 plus your proficiency bonus,
which scales as you level.
Oh wow. So it's a life steal sort of.
It is
thing.
literally a leech spell. Then you get your Crimson Sacraments, which basically are extra abilities that they're basically, it's crazy. These sacraments act sort of like legendary actions.
Oh wow. This class is so much.
Like I said, I was reading.
This seems like, oh, is this balanced? It seems like there's just too much for it to be balanced.
I mean, that's the thing. That's just one of many. Then there's entropic Hersture. There is the there's that one, and then there's the Hand of Irrigation.
Jesus, just one subclass takes up 2.5 pages.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot here. Mind you, a lot of it is really, really cool and really well written, but my brain just can't justify doing it on a stream.
Yeah. Oh god. This seems like it's way too much. Oh.
It's way too much, but like in a good way, you know?
As a DM, I would be excited for this player for a player to play this, or as a player, I'd love to play this. But oh my god, it's not.
I would love to see an Arbiter only campaign just to see how wild it gets.
Because there's no way this is balanced, though.
There's no way. No, like,
I can't imagine this.
Good on them.
If this is balanced, that is absolutely insane. How did they balance this much words?
Yeah.
It's like double the length of a normal class.
Now, to be fair, this is the only document that this creator has made on GM Binder, is the Arbiter class. So
they also have so much really good art on here. They have
and they did credit the artists.
Credits here.
So yeah, they have artist credits on every page that has art on it.
It's on individual pages. I see.
Yeah, it's on the individual pages. But you know what? That's even better though, because that means you could be like, wonderful.
Yeah.
Also, the spread is really good. Like, everything is like actually really well spread out.
Yeah, like formatting wise, it's just really nice.
God, I wish I was this good at editing. I want to be this. I want to be this guy. I want to be this good at what he's doing.
Yeah,
I've been really good art, and there's really good artists for this.
As I've sort of just been like working my way through like reading a bunch of homebrew recently, it's sort of been like the thing I do recently.
Yeah.
It makes me want more and more to like try and attempt to make my own homebrew thing. The thing is, I don't really have an idea for what I want to do. I just want to make a homebrew subclass or class. I don't really have a concept that I want to build.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with. I think this would definitely be like a fighter. Like, if I were to like even justifiably start Arbiter, it would be a fighter, like straight up and down.
Fighter?
It would definitely be a fighter.
Would it be?
It would be Battlemaster Fighter, simply because they are literally living weapons that are designed to bring judgment down. So it would be Battlemaster Fighter to justify their martial prowess, and they would take Great Weapon Fighting, because that's generally what I'm understanding of this. These are literally Dark Knights but on crack, and that's what they feel like. They're like, what if Berserk and Violet Evergarden had a baby, and this is what they got? It was the Arbiter.
This is really cool, but I don't think it's reasonable to do on stream.
Again, I think I might bring it up to like a group and be like, hey, you guys want to like use this class and just play it as like a party?
As like a 1-shot or like a 5-shot thing?
It's like a mini campaign, no more than maybe 20 sessions, something like that.
Okay, here's the class that I'm looking at that maybe we can recreate.
We can do one.
We can maybe do
if we don't crash.
As long as we don't crash, fingers crossed. It's been going for 10 minutes, so
we're solid so far. It's kind of weird that we were talking for 10 minutes on that.
Yeah. So Pack Magic, we can skip through that.
I kind of like the idea of Abyss Knight. I want to build this and like.
Yeah.
We'll see how we can do.
Your demonic pact started to corrupt your body. You have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. Resistance against poison damage. Learn how to speak Abyssal. Alright, that's...
If you don't already know it.
Yeah. You learn how to control and manipulate the fire profane essence of the Abyss.
Oh, okay. You learn Green Flame Blade as a cantrip.
That's really nice. Just as a free spell, like, might as well. It's nice. You can choose to either deal the damage types from your Abyssal energy feature.
Oh my god! Do you read that last line right there? In addition, the range of the cantrip increases to 30 feet.
How?
30-foot green flame blade.
Wait, isn't Green Flame Blade a melee
It's
attack?
a melee attack.
So how do you
yes.
do that? Like with a ranged attack?
You would probably okay. When a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to expend a PowerPoint to edit your modifier. Okay. Okay. So I
How does that work? Can you like? Is it like flinging the green flame? Oh wait, green flame does have a bit of a flame. It does have range where like you attack and then if something's within 5 feet.
Yeah, it does.
So that's the way I would rule that. That's what it's referencing here. So if you attack with your green flame, then it jumps to another creature within 30 feet instead of within 5 feet.
Maybe. I'm gonna look.
That's my idea of what it would be. That's my only idea.
Real fast because the way it's worded makes it seem like I just have a 30-foot flame blade.
Yeah,
which is cool. I'll take it.
That's cool, but as a DM, I would rule it the way I said it.
Okay,
I think.
Okay, so verbatim, you brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target suffers the weapon's attack normal effects. And you can cause green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within. Okay, so this is specifically referring to the leaping ability. So instead of 5 feet, so instead of being next to the target, it's just and then that guy, and so the fire flicks over to the next person 30 feet away.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah, which is exactly what you were saying, which is still cool as fuck.
Yeah,
so
I think that's cool.
I'm gonna let that one slide.
That was almost really powerful, but
then it got better. But I mean, it's still good. Like being able to just like hit a target 30 feet away. Like imagine doing that. Like
yeah. That is kind of like AoE damage. Like you get to attack 2 people in 1 turn. Like that's really good.
Yeah, with a single cast of a cantrip.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to use meta magics.
Yeah. So what do we got in terms of patrons here as our subclasses?
Baphomet. So you have Baphomet, who is basically like they got Hunter's Mark, Enlarge Reduce, Conjure Animals, Locate Creature.
This is giving off
Ranger.
Yeah. Demogorgon, second persona. Split your mind in 2. Demonic.
Charm person, large reduce for bear, 6 having confusion.
This is really weird.
Well, to be fair, the original Demogorgon. So to be fair, the original Demogorgon was literally a demon with 2 heads. It was a prince. It was a demon prince with 2 heads.
Is this find familiar?
No. This is have you read the Order of Scribe Wizard subclass?
Yes, I played it for a while.
It's the Awakened book.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah. I never got to the second subclass feature with Awakened Scribe.
Yeah, so it is effectively the Awakened spell book combined with the perks of Find Familiar.
That Scribe Wizard I multi-classed into Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, which Wizard Sorcerer is probably among the worst multi-classes you could do.
You would think it would be good because of the meta magic, but then you realize that because of the differences of spellcasting modifiers, like you don't
even get to learn 3rd level spells or 4th level spells. Like it was just awful. I was absolutely carried by my magic items that were unreasonably overpowered. I think I purposefully threw that character's like balancing away because that was the only way to balance it in accordance with the magic items my DM was giving me. It was like absolutely wild what he was giving me. So
okay, so there's Gratz, which is not great.
You can impose charm condition on it. When your attack against a creature is a critical hit, you can impose charmed on it, and it lasts for a minute. That's kind of awful.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
The Gratz sucks. Jubilex sounds better though. That's because Jubilex is fucking wild.
You can move through space as narrow as...
You're literally a slime knight.
As narrow as 1 inch without squeezing. So you could get smaller?
Yeah, so because of your ooze feature, you can literally just squeeze into a crack and then appear on the other side as I assume without squeezing, which means that you just liquefy.
That's actually kind of cool.
In addition, you no longer need food. Dissolving and absorbing organic matter as you pass through it. In addition, when you use your abyssal energy feature, you can also deal acid damage. You literally become an ooze.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually
Whoa!
really, really cool.
Look at the
And you
second.
take no critical hits.
That is wild.
Because
No.
you're an ooze. You don't have a discernible anatomy.
Yeah.
You're an ooze.
That's
So,
really. That's really
awesome.
cool.
You can make
Oh, I'm so excited for Spelljammer and their ooze.
Trust me.
I've not like
All
looked
for
at the UA version of it, but just like thematically, that's a really cool.
Oh my god, yeah. The
Oh yeah.
remember,
Aren't you waiting
can't remember what
for
they're
it to
called.
come out to do Jideo on your series
Yes. Absolutely, yes.
and all the other slime tubers?
And all the other slime tubers, they're all going to be the little space slimes. I can't wait.
We get Orcus.
Orcus is an interesting choice. I wasn't expecting him to be here, but
Yeah.
you know what?
You can summon wings made of demonic essence as a bonus action. Oh, that's just like that. If we make an
That's
Asimar,
just
we
an
get that.
Asimar,
Yeah.
Gain flying speed of 20 feet. Putrid odor that exhales from the wings. All creatures on 10 feet of you must make a con saving throw or have disadvantage on all attacks against you to the start of your next turn.
Whoa.
First level, I spread my putrid demonic wings.
Yeah. I mean, Asimar are kind of crazy with their abilities,
Asimar are
so
pretty crazy with their powers, yeah. Sword of Orcus, your melee weapon is infused with necromantic power. When you reduce a humanoid to 0 hit points, you can cause its spirit to rise from its corpse as an undead with a CR of 1 or lower.
that's pretty cool.
As it appears, it gains 10 hit points equal to half your knight level. Roll initiative for the undead, which has its own turns. It obeys your verbal commands, and it gains a special bonus to its attack rolls equal to your charisma modifier.
Wait,
Whenever
that's
you cast a
really
spell-
cool.
This is a better summon. Whenever you cast a spell with the touch range, you can choose to cast it from the ghoul's position.
Whoa.
Also, any feature that affects your melee weapon can affect the ghoul natural weapons instead. What the fuck? Additionally, you can spend 4 hit die to raise a CR2 undead instead. The undead remains in your service until the end of your next long rest, at which point it vanishes to the afterlife. Once you use this feature, you can't use this feature against you. Dude, that's fucking wild! You get it up to a CR2 summon?
Yeah, that's really good, especially if you like AoE kill a bunch of. Well, actually, no, it's a melee weapon, so.
It's a melee weapon,
But
like,
still,
the idea that
you can just
augment
like
the
if your
ghoul's
DM
ability-
if your DM gives you a bunch of like small encounters, you can just like amass an army over the course of a combat.
right? That's nuts.
Wait, does it
Until,
until end of next long rest? Oh, okay.
So you have it for as long as you don't sleep.
Yeah, that's
So
really
unless you're willing
good.
to take exhaustion.
That's really
Okay.
good. That is.
Okay, so this.
That's really.
Huh.
That's cool and also unbalanced as hell.
I mean, level 10, you get immortality. So.
Oh, they just completely waste their level 10.
I mean, due to
Oh, you don't take damage from crits. God damn
You
it.
don't take any extra damage from crits, and you become
And resistant to
damage.
necrotic. Damn it, never mind.
But you do become an undead creature, so anything that affects an undead creature goes against you.
Oh, yeah, that is a little. That is a little bit.
But I mean, boo-hoo, you're 10th level.
Yeah. So what is it? Yinogu?
Yeah, Yanogu.
Yanogu. Oh, you get Tasha's hideous laughter.
You get the primal beast form of guardian of nature at 13th level. That's pretty solid. Primal beast form is just like, hey, I need to summon you real fast. Yeah, sure. So you summon a giant bear.
Based. Love bear.
Or whatever creature you want. Like I would personally summon a giant bear, but that's because bears are the most terrifying creatures in the natural world. But like I've seen people sit there and be like, I summon a werewolf, and I'm like, that totally checks out. It's a primal creature.
Yeah.
You
can make
somebody summon a dinosaur at one point, which I thought was funny.
Oh, so this is giving off like druid. So you can make an attack with your jaws. When you do so, D4 in place of normal damage of your unarmed strikes. Damage is piercing. Use your charisma instead of strength for attack and damage rolls of your jaws.
That's wild.
Yeah. When you take attack action to make at least one attack with your jaws or your melee weapon, you can make another attack with your jaws as a bonus action.
Your jaws are considered magical? Holy shit! Your bite is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance to non-magical attacks and damage. Let's
That's
go.
really nice. That
That's a solid. That's a solid first ability.
yeah.
And
I mean,
scales
the
damage. That's
boo.
pretty solid.
Yeah, scale damage, but 1d4 isn't too much.
It isn't, but when you combine it with other abilities, and
Oh.
the fact that it's going off of your charisma instead of your strength.
However, that third ability, you can like use it as a bonus action. That's really nice.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
solid.
So you attack with your sword for the big damage, and then you bonus action attack with the jaws.
Or you can just grapple somebody.
Oh yeah.
Because it says when you are grappling a single creature, as long as it remains within reach, you do not need to use your hands to maintain the grapple instead of crushing it with the power of the teeth. So hands, hey look, Ma, no hands. Also, here's a sword through your chest.
Yeah. So you're not actually transforming it into anything. You just have really powerful teeth.
You just have a really powerful jaw, which if you combine this with the shifter's long tooth ability, you would increase your damage early in the levels, and then you would no longer need to shift.
Okay, so which of these subclasses do you think is the easiest to recreate?
Well, Jubilex is definitely not the easiest one to recreate at all.
Jubilex, I think, is the coolest.
It's definitely the coolest one.
I think that's the one, if I was building this, like, if only Orcus wasn't here, I would totally make a Jubilex. Because Orcus is absolutely wild. I think we just delete Orcus. No, that's...
I would absolutely make a Jubilex knight because of the ooze.
Yeah, that's really cool. Big fan of slime.
Big fan of slimes. Honestly, we could
Baphomet?
do Baphomet. I didn't really like Baphomet too much.
Yeah, but it's easy enough to recreate.
That's the problem. I was gonna say we could do the Yanogu. We could do a barbarian fighter hybrid.
Barbarian. Well, why not just straight barbarian? Barbarian warlock. For the sake of.
Yeah, we could do barbarian warlock. So we could do barbarian path. We could do a barbarian path of the beast, and then. And then we can do a. What warlock would we use?
Fiend?
Yeah, that should work. So if we do like a shifter, barbarian, beast, fiend, warlock, we should get the same result.
Yeah. We'll have to look through a little bit extra, but what is it called? The Abyss Knight?
Yeah, the Abyss Knight. So let me see, long tooth.
What do we got in terms of portraits?
Oh, okay, but the shifting
that
adds
looks
your
cool.
strength modifier to your bite instead of I mean, we can justify that. You're playing a barbarian. So
yeah.
The only downside is that the but you can use charisma instead of strength. No, fuck that. We're using strength. We're playing a barbarian. We're using strength.
Okay. Do we need anything for race-wise?
I was gonna say shifter to kind of compensate for the early levels because it's a D4 for the normal damage, but at 5th level it becomes a D6. But as a shifter, it already is a D6 when you shift.
I don't know shifter all too well.
You want long tooth shifter?
All right.
Because that's the bite. If we're sticking to the theme, we want the biting ability. So long tooth shifter has the shifting ability to elongate their fangs.
I see.
Then
you have elongated fangs to make an unarmed strike as a bonus action. If you hit with your fangs, they deal. Yeah, that's basically exactly a like unpowered version of that. So
yeah, and then we also get +2 to strength, +1 to dexterity, which goes right along with it. Like I said, we're probably gonna do barbarian warlock. So I guess the question is, do we want to start with barbarian, or do we want to start with warlock?
I think we start with warlock.
Okay,
maybe.
So then let's start with warlock.
Actually, barbarian just for the sake of martial.
Yeah. Okay, so
Proficiencies. I
then
think that's more important.
okay, so then we'll do barbarian. For the proficiencies, we're gonna go with nature
Yeah, nature.
and survival.
Yeah. And we get rage and unarmored defense.
Yeah. And then do we want to roll stats before we hybrid class, or do we want a hybrid class now?
Let's roll stats.
Okay. Primal knowledge is fine. Instinctive pounce is fine. Primal knowledge and instinct. The only one, like, we're not going to go past a certain point, anyways. I don't think we're going to get to a 7th level barbarian.
These are pretty balanced stats. No minus. Yeah, no minus stats is pretty good. So let's put that into strength, put that into dex, put this into charisma, put this into con.
Okay, your stream is on a delay, so I'm gonna have to ask you to. Okay, so
there's my
dex. Strength is 16. Charisma's 14. Int is 10. That's fine.
This seems good.
And then con is 14.
And then add
wild stats.
Yeah, these are really good stats.
Yeah, and then we're gonna add warlock.
Yeah, adding warlock here. Might as well.
Don't forget to set your features. Otherworldly patron. We're gonna do fiend.
Yes, fiend.
Theme.
Fiend, just theme-wise, that makes sense. And then the temp hit points, I think, is that something we get here?
Temp hit points happen when you.
Yeah, but is it on Abyss Knight? I don't think it is.
No.
It might have been on one of the subclasses, and I just forgot. But I could have sworn there was something that happened when you killed someone on one of these. Maybe I'm mixing that up with something else.
No, that was a different subclass of the Abyss Knight.
Different subclass? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was.
Oh yeah, that was on Orcus. His absolutely wild thing for reducing to 0 hit points.
Bonkers abilities.
Yeah. Just destroy the entire world with that. All right.
Okay, so I guess the question is.
Now, what do we want to continue this with?
Okay, so first thing we need to do is that we need to get Green Flame Blade onto our character.
Green Flame Blade, that's easy enough.
Yeah, so we need to get Green Flame Blade. That was the bare minimum, was to get Green Flame Blade.
That's just Warlock on there. Easy.
Yeah, and then
we need to get Barbarian up to level 3 so we can get a.
Oh yeah, so let's go ahead and pump him to level 3.
What was it again?
Oh yeah, so Primal Knowledge doesn't really do anything, but you might as well just put it into Athletics, just because we can. But for the Primal Path, we want Path of the Beast to get the bite.
Nope. Beast.
The reason why is because when you take the form of the beast, you get to transform your body, and one of them is the bite.
Deals 1d8.
Yeah, so this is all to compensate for the lower scaling until we reach the higher levels. Because and then also the bite regains hit points equal to proficiency bonus.
That's really nice.
Provided you are at less than half your hit points when you hit.
Oh, yeah, that's still nice.
But I mean, it's still pretty solid. But it goes off of your strength score, or it goes off your strength modifier, which is what our normal bite does anyways, combined with our shifting. So, like, we're basically just constantly worrying about whether or not the bite works. And then because it's a bonus action to rage, this works.
Yeah.
As far as the warlock is concerned, we could probably so our options are we can take either 2 dips into warlock to get the invocation or to get invocations, or we take 1 more dip into barbarian to get an ability or feat.
Yeah.
Because if we take the feat,
we don't get invocations on Abyss Knight.
We don't. We would have to.
The only thing is that we are missing a lot of spells.
Yeah, we are missing spells, which is
it's a little bit painful. Yeah.
I mean, we can compensate that pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like, if we wanted to, we can go into higher levels and then like get more, but even then, like the Abyss Knight only gets spells at second level,
This
where
is a
we are currently.
surprisingly cool class. I kind of
It's
want to
a
see it
really
like expanded on, maybe another like couple iterations before it's like 100%
yeah.
balanced.
I'd like to see more of
But like
this.
I do like a warlock, like what
Like
warlock is to cleric as Abyss Knight is to paladin.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Basically a pact magic paladin.
A packed magic paladin or a packed magic cleric or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
something. I just
if
want
I
a
need
I just want a warlock in
inspiration
heavy
for
armor.
if I need inspiration for creating a homebrew class, then maybe this, like a warlock
Maybe.
esque paladin.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Um.
anyway, I'm thinking you just grab that fourth level in barbarian.
Okay, so let's grab that fourth level barbarian, and then we'll just have to figure out what we want to do as a feat or an ability score.
Are we missing anything here from? I
I
mean, we
think we
could grab
could-
Eldritch Invocation feat, but
we
then what's the point of?
right. Another one we can grab is probably like
Is there one where we get advantage on poison and resistance to poison damage?
yes,
There
I
is,
believe.
isn't there?
Yes, it should be the poisoner skill. Um, you gain proficiency with the poisoner's kit. No, that's not it. It
Is
ignores.
it durable?
It might be durable. Let me check.
No. Uh,
It's just to make it so that way you regain more hit points through a hit die.
there's one. There's I know there's one that
I
gives
know
you
there's one. Yeah, I can't remember. We could be funny and get a gift of the dragon.
Gift of the Dragon is so cool. I put it on my most recent character that I'm currently playing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So the sword mage, if you remember it, I put Gift of the Dragon on that, which means I get to bonus it with basically my like indefinite smite ability, which is like a less powerful smite, but I get to use it throughout an entire combat.
Yeah.
And then I also get that Gift of the Dragon. So I basically power up my greatsword from 2d6 plus my strength to 2d6 plus 1d4 plus my strength plus 6 or 4, depending on my spell slot that I'm using.
Yeah. So I
So
mean, like, if we wanted to get the
very powerful.
yeah, absolutely. So if we wanted to get the poison resistance or something like that, the closest thing we could do is get Gift of the Chromatic Dragon. So that way we can do reactive resistance. So when it takes damage, you can use it. They can use a reaction to gain resistance to that instance of damage. But
Yeah,
it's only if it is a poison based thing.
that is a little disappointing.
It is a little disappointing,
That's
but
that feels a little bit like a cop out here. There's gotta be one.
yeah.
Resilient.
Ah,
No. Hmm. Nope. That's not it.
swore the poisoner had it, but I guess I was wrong.
Tough.
Tough
No.
is just giving you extra
Tough
hit
is more hit
points.
points. Ah. That's so disappointing. I can't think of any other ones that would have it.
Um, I mean, the other thing that we can do is instead of being a shifter, we can just be a dwarf.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we kind of do get the bite from Barbarian.
We get the bite from the barbarian.
We
Yeah,
don't really
this
need
was to help.
Longtooth.
Yeah,
That was for
yeah,
like early levels, right?
yeah. That was yeah. It's just to kind of compensate for the fact that we have a D4 starting, and then like okay, then we just scale up
Uh,
to a D6 to a D8. Yeah, so we could be a dwarf and specifically a mountain dwarf, I
yeah.
believe. No, a hill dwarf. Was it a hill dwarf?
I think they both have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's dwarves
So
and
the difference is like you get more hit points on hill and on mountain you get
I just rather be a
proficiency
D6
with
or
light and
D8.
medium, so we want a hill dwarf.
Yeah, we want a hill dwarf. That would be way easier. So
Tool
and
proficiency,
then
grab Smith's tools. All right. Uh
Background, we would probably be, say,
Gladiator.
what's it called?
Soldier.
A soldier or an acolyte would be a good option.
Acolyte. Yeah, that acolyte works definitely.
So
I'll go with acolyte.
sounds good.
Grab us our abyssal and infernal.
Yep.
Actually, this is Abyss Knight. It's specifically demons, not devils, so it is abyssal over infernal.
Still though, it wouldn't hurt to have the script.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we would hit up equipment then.
Great axe.
Yeah.
I love great axes. Like I get great swords are probably better on average, but great axes aesthetically I like them more.
I prefer axes over swords too, so I get it.
We'll grab
That's just because
ourselves.
I don't see enough people using axes like ballers. So
Yeah. I am a marauder main or a warrior main on Final Fantasy 14.
that's my main tank.
Except I just got to Heaven's Word and I leveled Gunbreaker or not Gunbreaker, Machinist up.
Yeah.
To
I
maybe be my main. The only thing stopping me is DPS wait times for dungeons.
that's nothing.
It's like 13 minutes. Like, ooh,
Just work on something else then. That's what I do.
that's
And I mained machinist after during Heaven's Sword and all the way through Endwalker. So just
yeah, but like that's not a very good stream experience because I streamed the main story quest.
oh well then yeah.
So
That is a big issue.
stream experience wise, technically being a healer would probably be the best. Which Astrologian is a really cool healer. Like I've been playing that also.
Yeah, Astrologian's really fun. I mean, you could. Well, no, you don't. You're not at high enough level yet. I was gonna say you could unlock the Sage and Reaper, but
Sage looks cool. Also Reaper. I haven't actually seen much on Reaper, but Sage looks cool.
I've seen so much Reaper.
I've only just gotten to Heaven's Word, so I haven't actually seen much Reaper. And I haven't done too much research on the game outside of like the classes that I'm interested in specifically and or have access to.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I've played every class. I haven't leveled maxed every class yet. The only class that I've maxed out is Machinist.
Mm.
And then I lost my subscription, so I couldn't play max out on other things.
Yeah, I have a friend who's maxed out up to 90 all of the healer classes.
Yeah, I know some of our friends like I think Poppy and Effie are I think they've got most of the classes level maxed.
Jeez, most of them like it's really hard to level.
No, not really, because with the armory system, it
oh.
compensates for it. Because the armory system is it takes your highest level class, and you get bonus experience based on the discrepancy between your current class that you're leveling and your maximum level class.
Huh.
So if you have a level 90 class and then you go back and you try to level up another class, it'll actually be faster than if you were to just try to do that separately. Like
interesting.
So the
idea
is that you want to so that's how the armory system works, is that you want to max level one class and then go back to play another class. So that way the armory system will play catch up with that max level class and you will level up that much faster.
Huh. So you kind of encourages you to power level one class at a time rather than bring everybody up at the same rate.
Yeah, instead of like trying to hot swap amongst like all the classes, find one that you really enjoy playing, make that your main, and then go back and do the other class, unlock the other classes, and then do those two. Like don't do my mistake where I had to learn how the armory system worked for a while, and then once I figured it out, I'm like, oh god damn, I'm an idiot. So I created a whole new character to test it out. I mean, when you have the slots for it, why not? So
Yeah.
And then I told my friend that because he's just like, why is it taking so long to level up the black mage? And I'm like, well, what level's your highest level class? Because he originally started out as a lancer because he loves dragoons like I do. but we don't like the way the Dragoon plays.
Uh,
At least not for a while. And then he's
oh
like, I'm gonna
yeah, it
try out.
doesn't get AoE for a long time, right?
It doesn't get AoE for quite a while, yeah. And then, but even then though, like the fact that but the fact that it is I wouldn't say that the Dragoon, at least in my opinion, is a high skill ceiling class. It's just you have to manage your cooldowns or you have to manage your rotation very specifically to get the most out of the Dragoon because you're on a timer with your buff.
Hmm,
And the moment that buff drops, you have to reproc your buff.
I see.
So
Yeah,
so you have
it's
to
annoying.
constantly juggle. Yeah, so you have to juggle between your buff rotations, and then hopefully within like the 3 second buff window that you have between when the buff drops and before you have to, because I think it's like 12 seconds that buff lasts, right? Which is a long time for most buffs. Um, at least for the Dragoon it is. So, but like you want to like try to start setting up that
Oh,
buff because I think it's like a three, because I think the buff itself is like a 3 skill rotation to reproc the buff. So you have to go through all 3 skills in order to get the buff again.
hmm.
But I mean, once you get to that level, like once you get to that point, it's actually a really fun class. Honestly, I enjoy it. But I also just I'm nostalgic blind because Dragoons are one of my favorite classes.
The
I think they're just
problem
aesthetic.
is that all of the classes are so cool, and I want to play all
Exactly.
of them,
Exactly. So, but I mean, like again, it is definitely one of those like find the one that you
except
want to
Paladin.
main.
I don't care for
Paladin,
Paladin.
Paladin's all right. I would say, but like I said, find the one class you want to main, and then focus on leveling that up, so that way you can level up the other classes fast, and nothing's stopping you from rerunning the same shit with the other classes.
Honestly, like I kind of want to. I want to be able to have a tank, a DPS, and a heal main each.
Oh yeah, no, same. Like
So
that's legit.
like warrior totally is what I have like gravitated to. Dark Knight is kind of cool, but I don't know. I think I kind of just like warrior more just because I've gotten used to it. Um,
Yeah.
and then for healers, I've kind of only played Scholar and a little bit of Astrologian.
Hmm.
So both of them are really cool. I don't necessarily think I have a preference for a healer. I kind of just like any of them.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess this sort of just depends on like what kind of healer you want to be.
yeah.
Because like because you have like the stereotypical reactive healer, which is the white mage. You have the proactive healer, which is the scholar. You have the or you have the well, now they shifted it after Sage was introduced. So now you have another proactive healer, which is the astrologian, which now focuses more on preventative. Or no, astrologian is now like a white mage. It's now reactive healing, and now the sage is the other proactive healer, where they drop shields on people.
Hmm.
So it's basically like, do you prefer being proactive and dropping shields on people in the midst of combat in order to buffer their hit points, or are you reactive and you just want to hit the magic button that says now you get hit points back?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's sort of and we have to remember that like when it comes to doing like raids and stuff like that, uh shields do not stack, they overlap. And at least from what I remember, they might have changed that recently. But like if you did shields and you did heal, and if you had one white mage and you had a scholar, I believe the white mage and the scholar would go together pretty well. But if you had like a scholar, but if you had like 2 scholars and they would do the shield, I think the shields would overlap, and then one would override the other, which was kind of a weird problem.
Hmm.
But I could be wrong because it's been a while since I played the game. So, and I used to main healer, but I mained white mage. So
Ah. And then yeah, DPS wise, I totally have just like uh, gone to machinist. Just
gun,
aesthetically, yeah, steampunk and gun.
yeah. No, I mained the machinist because I really liked the animations and I liked the storyline for it.
Yeah,
But I love the monk too much. Like
I've
like
looked at pugilist monk and I've sort of been like, I don't know about it.
Pugilist monk. Yeah, so to go down the monk path is to really know rotations and positionals. Like
Mm,
the difference between range DPS and melee DPS is whether or not you're willing to commit to learning positionals.
yeah.
Because with range DPS, unless the specific skill tells you, but I have yet to find a skill that tells me I have to be in a specific position for it. For range DPS, it's just stay out of the line of fire, dodge when you need to, and then blast. But
Yeah.
for a melee DPS, especially for the monk, I think they changed it too, but you still have to rotate around the monster to get the maximum out of your damage. So like you would have a skill that deals extra damage and activates a proc when you're striking from behind, and then your next skill in your combo chain, you would have to shift to the side or the flank of the monster in order to proc something, and then you have to go and you have to either stay or you would move to the back again. You're constantly doing that back and forth dance of going from the flank into the back, constantly rotating in order to get
Most
your
like optimal.
well no
Your
because
positionals, right?
yeah, you're trying to get your positionals, and because you're doing that, you're building a resource. I think it's your chi orbs or whatever. You're building a resource, and then you use these resources to burn and use these super powerful moves that are basically combo finishers. And then they recently, because they reworked monk now, you now have like you now have like a certain set of combos that like activate specific kinds of chi. And then when you accumulate these certain kinds of chi, you then get access to very specific kinds of moves that are related to what cheese you have active. It's very interesting, and it's a lot easier than how we used to have it. Because it used to be like you had these uh, because you used to have to worry about like what sort of way of the fist you were active, which is basically your stances.
Mm,
And optimally, you'd want to be in the wind stance for the movement speed buff and the cooldown reduction. Uh, but they removed the extra grease lightning, which is what we got for which was a passive buff that monks had, where with every stack of greased lightning, your animation and your execution speeds would be increased by a certain percentage, and your movement speed would be increased for a certain period, so long as you were hitting. And since you were always hitting, you always procced your stacks. But if you were in the wind stance, you had an extra stack, but that was no longer the case anymore. And now it's a universal thing. So regardless of what stance you're in, you would always have two grease lightning stacks, so long as you were in the midst of combat. Like the monk got so much simpler, but so much more complicated at the same time after the rework patch. So needless to say, if you're invested in melee DPS, then just know that you're gonna have to learn a little bit more than as a range DPS.
yeah. I don't
Like
know.
you still have to
I've
like you
looked
still
at
have to know the
I've looked at
timings.
Ninja a little bit, but
Ninja's cool.
eh,
Ninja's fun.
I don't know.
It's just a
I've not been
fun little
attracted to any of them nearly as I
as the
have
machinist.
Machinist.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
absolutely. And
or
like I
like
said, as the
even like
machinist,
I watched like a video on Black Mage. I'm like, ooh, that looks cool.
I like Black Mage. Honestly, I was leveling up the Black Mage after I maxed out the machinist. I'm gonna play the Black Mage now, and oh my god, I forgot what spell timers were.
Mhm.
I,
Yeah,
Black
that
Mage
was
made
sort
me
of like the main
realize.
thing I saw in there. I was like, oh my god, jeez, you
Yeah, Black Mage made me remember what spellcast timers were. Oh, and
spellcast
that's coming
timer
from a
is
guy who.
longer than the recast timer. Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
that, that
awful.
that's funny coming from a guy who used to main White Mage before he shifted to Machinist. Like I was like, damn, I forgot about these cast timers. This is rough.
Yeah,
But they have ways of compensating for their cast timers, like being one of the most powerful DPS in the game.
yeah,
And and they do have some mechanics that allow Black Mage to be just overwhelmingly powerful. But
yeah,
again, spellcast timers.
yeah. I watched a video on it, and I'm like, wow, this is very powerful.
Yeah, those guys are fucking like Black Mage. Like anybody who mains a Black Mage to me is like what I hope to achieve as a DPS player, because I'm just like, you are like a pinnacle. You are what like skill management looks like to me.
Yeah. Well, It is getting kind of late, so I'm gonna end stream now.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird way to stop the stream for us.
Yeah.
We were like, we were building the Abyss Knight. We did it. And now we're like, now let's talk about Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I don't know.
But hey, you know what? That
It's
works
been
out.
my main passion for the past 2 months.
I hope to get back into it once I guess once I have more money, disposable income, I guess is the better way to put it. Once I have more disposable income, I plan on going back into it and maybe streaming it here and there.
Okay. I think I saw Gidio was streaming. Gidio's streaming poker. I'm gonna raid them.
Alrighty. I'm gonna head out because I'm starving.
Oh
And
yeah,
then,
go eat.
yeah, so it was nice being here again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I love it. I love talking D&D.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to talk D&D.
It's so fun. I love theory crafting.
Theory crafting is always good. But yeah, go stretch, grab something to eat, drink some water, stay,
Oh, do you want to put your channel in the chat?
Yeah, sure. I can plug myself.
Oh, actually, Automod might yell at you. So I'll do it.
Yeah.
ekayon3, right?
Correct.
Great.
There you go. Yep.
Woo! It's right there. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you later.
Alrighty.
Bye.
It's good talking to you. Bye.
Yeah, so before I hit the raid Gidio button, make sure to go follow me here on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe here on Twitch with twitch.tv. Wait, sorry, with your Twitch Prime, wink wink. It's free. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you either having or will have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow for starting Heavensward. Yeah, that's Final Fantasy 14. It is relevant. I'm starting Heavensward tomorrow. So I'm going to send you off to Gidio now. Bye. I wave to the camera. You guys can't see my hands. Oh, did the raid Gidio button not work? The raid Gidio button. Everybody get ready to raid Gidio. 3, 2, 1. Raid now. There we go.